Okay, so Namaskar. Today we are going to have some discussion on coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry. Okay, so in this coordinate geometry, the moment coordinate geometry comes, people they used to remember our students that there will be two perpendicular axes. So two perpendicular lines intersecting at a common point which is denoted by O and whose value is 0 and 0. So that's why this particular point is known as coordinate. So that's why coordinate geometry. Okay, because everything, all measurement starts from this particular point. Okay, so this is the meeting point of these two perpendicular lines, which is called axis. So this particular horizontal line is called x-axis, and this vertical line is called y-axis. Okay, right. So this is the coordinate geometry which we are going to discuss today. Basics only we will be discussing today, and then we will go for solving some of the problems related to coordinate geometry in next class. Today we will go for having a basic concept clarity. Okay, gentlemen. So as I told you that in coordinate geometry, if somebody is asking that what is called coordinate geometry or coordinate, we can say that the two lines or the two axes, because lines are many, we can say whenever we are talking about axis, then it is coming under the purview of coordinate geometry. So whenever the two axes or three axis also, if it is three dimensional geometry, 3D coordinate geometry also it is there. Okay, so it is two dimensional. Now at present it is two dimensional, we can say it is two dimensional. If it is three dimensional, one more axis will come, that is z axis. Okay, so in space whatever measurements we are doing, that measurement will be done in three dimensional. Okay, so on ground if we are doing any type of measurement by keeping a plane as a reference, then it will be two dimensional geometry. Now two perpendicular axes meeting at a point which is called coordinate, and the values at the coordinate will be having 0 and 0 value. Okay, right, very good. Now 0 and 0, what we are saying, so 1 0, the first point, so we are naming it, suppose any one particular point A, and this particular point we are naming it as A and B. So its coordinates are A and B. These A and B are called what? Coordinates. Coordinates of point A. It means this A, capital A, is at a distance of this A unit from x-axis. First one is denoting x-axis. Okay, so x point, x coordinate. So this is called x coordinate. Okay, which is also named as abscissa. Okay, what it is named as? Abscissa. Okay, so this A is what? The distance in whatever units, whether it is meter, centimeter, kilometer, whatever it is. So the distance of point A from x-axis. Similarly, B is the distance. This distance is there. Okay. B, the distance of, okay, distance of point A from y-axis. Okay, now this point A is also known as abscissa. Okay, this is also known as abscissa. ABSCISSA, abscissa. And this is called ordinate. This is called ordinate. Okay. So any point can be, the location of any point can be known from this abscissa and ordinate. So any point in this quadrants, anywhere, whether this quadrant, so this first one is called quadrant 1. Quadrant 1. Similarly, this is quadrant 2. It is quadrant 3. We have to move anti-clockwise, and this is quadrant 4. We have to move anti-clockwise in a circular fashion. Okay. So if you will draw a circle here, then it will become a part of a circle. That's why it is called quadrant. Okay, 1/4 part of a circle, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. So that's why these all are called as quadrant. Means the circle completely it is being divided into 4 parts. Okay. In quadrant 1, the values of x-axis and y-axis both will be positive. Both will be positive. So in quadrant 1, x and y, x also will be positive, y also will be positive. In quadrant 2, x part will become negative. This side it is positive, this side it is negative. Similarly, y part, this side it is positive and downward it is negative. Okay, so in quadrant 2, y is positive whereas x is negative. So x is negative, y is positive. Okay, in quadrant 3, x is also negative, y is also negative. Both are negative. In quadrant 4, x is positive, y is negative. So x is positive, y is negative. Okay. So now you can, sorry, not v, negative. Okay, negative. Negative here. This is negative. So we can see that at 2 places x is become positive, 2 places x is becoming negative, 2 places y is becoming positive, 2 places y is becoming negative. Okay. So from this, if any value is being given to us, suppose you are given, okay, -2 and 3, in which quadrant it will lie? So here x is negative, y is positive. Where x is negative, this side it is negative, y is positive. It means in quadrant 2. It is lying. If suppose you are given, no, -1 and -4, which quadrant it is lying? Then both are minus. Both are minus where? Okay, in quadrant 3rd. So it is quadrant 3rd. Okay, if it is given to you 1 and -2, so x is positive, y is negative, so it is in quadrant 4. Simply you are given 3 and 4, both are positive, so it will be in quadrant 1. So like this you will be able to locate the points by seeing that abscissa and ordinate. Abscissa and ordinate. Okay. Right. So this particular part you have already understood now. Okay. Now what it is there? In this particular coordinate geometry, we can represent anything. Any geometrical figure can be represented. Like suppose if you want to represent an equilateral triangle, an equilateral triangle, we can represent in any manner. Like suppose we have made the axis, made the axis, and in that axis, if we want to represent an equilateral triangle, suppose any point we'll take. This point, suppose 3 distance from here, this point, okay, 3 distance here, but it will not become like this. So you cannot represent, because once you will be joining this line, so all the sides will not be equal. Okay, so suppose at any one particular point we will place it. From here, suppose this is 3 unit. From here also this is 3 unit. And from here also, if this is 3 unit distance is there, that distance actually. So this particular point will be making us to have an equilateral triangle. So if the distance between AB, if the distance between BC and AC all are equal, AB is equal to BC is equal to AC, if it is equal to 3 units, then it is an equilateral triangle. Which type of triangle? Equilateral triangle. So any geometrical figure, if you want to represent any type of, like here we have represented, so it may be a square, it may be a rectangle, rhombus, anything we can represent. Okay, so in coordinate geometry, it is very much useful for us in our day-to-day life, gentlemen. Okay, right. Now the very first thing we are going to talk about section formula. Section formula means we want to find out the distance. And as I told you that each and every point is being represented with 2 coordinates. One is x coordinate and another one is y coordinate. So this x coordinate also will be having, suppose x1, y1 is there. Okay. And C is having B. Suppose it is x2, y2. Though at this particular point it is origin, which is called origin. Okay. Here I am putting x2, y2. And this one, if we are putting C point as x3, y3. Okay. So then we have to go for finding out the distance. As we told na, that AB is equal to BC is equal to AC. It means we can find out the distance. So let us discuss about distance formula. As a general, I am putting, suppose a point A is there having coordinates x1, y1. Another point B is there having coordinate x2, y2. Okay. Now, in this case, we can find the distance AB is equal to whole root x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Now, gentlemen, somebody will say that, sir, why you are writing x2 minus x1? Can we write x1 minus x2? Yes, you can write. Very well, you can write. Okay. So we can very well write x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square. So it's not going to make any type of difference, because here square is there. Even if inside it is coming as minus, square will always be positive. So with that distance formula, this one, okay, here actually AB is equal to what? It is plus minus. But distance cannot be in minus, na? So distance always will be in plus. Okay, its magnitude always will be in plus only. If it is minus, it is showing only direction. Okay, in which quadrant it is lying. But distance cannot be in negative. So that's why AB is always taken as positive. X2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square over that complete square root is there. With this, we will be able to find out the distance. So we will be having coordinate of this A, we will be having coordinate of this point B. By utilizing this formula, we will be able to find out AB, BC, CA. Okay. So this is there for distance formula. Okay. Right. One more thing I am going to discuss today, and that is section formula, gentlemen. Which formula? Section formula. Okay. So let us discuss section formula. Okay. For 10th standard pupil, generally it is given as internal division. For internal division, so suppose a line AB having coordinate x1 y1, having coordinate x2 y2, is being divided by any point P whose coordinate is x and y, and this point P is dividing this line segment AB in the ratio m is to n. In the ratio m is to n. You can take P is to Q, no problem. Okay. So the point P divides the line segment AB in the ratio m is to n. Okay. Right. Now, we need to find the coordinate of this point P. So, section formula is making us to calculate, making us to find out the coordinate of this point P, which is dividing this line segment in this ratio. So, coordinates of point P. So, in point P, we need to find x separately, we need to find y separately. So, how we will be finding x is equal to m into x2 first. This m will get multiplied with x2. This n will get multiplied with x1 divided by m plus n. Similarly, y coordinate we will be able to find my2 plus ny1 divided by m plus n. Okay, so this formula we are going to utilize in our calculation purpose. Now, from this formula, actually we are finding out midpoint. Very important concept. Midpoint formula. Midpoint formula. So when we are going to find midpoint formula, in that case, if this is the line segment AB, which is having coordinate as x1, y1, having coordinate as x2, y2, and the point P, which is the midpoint, it means it is dividing this line segment in the ratio 1:1. In the ratio 1:1. So this m will become 1, n will become 1. If we will put the value here, and if this P is having coordinate as x and y, okay, then okay, so if this coordinate P is having the coordinate as x and y, so by utilizing this formula, x, where it is midpoint, in that case m will become 1, so 1 into x2, so it will become x2, 1 into x1, it will become x1, divided by 1 plus 1, so it is 2, y will become y2 plus y1 divided by 2. So simply we have to add the coordinates and divide it by 2. for x and y. So in this way, we will be able to find midpoint. Okay. So this midpoint formula, which is coming from section formula, it is very much required. One more thing is there, that is actually you have to learn in your 12th standard, not in 11th standard. So that is called external division. Okay. So external division means, if suppose this line AB is there, having coordinate as x1, y1 and x2, y2, and some point from here, okay, from here some point D is dividing this line segment which is extended, okay, in the ratio m and n, right? Because D has come now external division, it is out of the boundary of this AB. It is out. Outside it is. Earlier what it was? It is inside. That point was inside that AB. But here the point D which we are talking about x and y, it is outside. Outside. In that case, what we will be doing, how we will find out? So if D is having the coordinate as x and y, so coordinates of point D, in that case x will become mx2, no difference, but this plus sign which is there in the middle, it will change to nx1 divided by m minus n. This is for x. Similarly for y, my2 minus ny1 divided by m minus n. So in this way, it is external division. It is called external division. The student who are up to 10th standard, they need not to worry about this external division. They will be studying only internal division. But those who are in 11th standard or 12th standard, they have to study external division also simultaneously. For them, this has to be proved also. So now I am not proving any concept. Just I am giving you details of the formulas or the concept for your clarity, so that we can solve the questions, numerical questions easily. I am not going to discuss about any proof concept. Okay? Right. Now, next, one more concept, that is, we are going to discuss area of triangle. Okay, and collinearity, right? Collinearity. Collinearity is a very good concept which is utilized in section formula also. So collinearity means this relates to two things. If the lines are parallel, two lines are there, AB, line segment, and CD. If the lines are parallel, then no point on these lines will be common. If no points in these two lines are common, then we can say that these points are collinear. A, B, C, D are collinear, and these are parallel to each other. These are parallel to each other, as no points are common. No points are common. Okay. Another one. Means suppose we are given that point A, B, C and D, and we are asked that find out whether A, B, C, D are collinear. Then we will be finding AB, we will be finding CD, their lengths and all we will be finding. Okay, and if we are going for, we are able to find that AB is equal to some integer M into CD. If it is like this, like suppose if AB is equal to 3 centimeter, distance we will find. Okay, and if CD we are able to find 6 centimeter, right? So what it is? So CD, it means CD is equal to 2 times of AB, 2 times of 3 centimeter, so 6 centimeter, 2 times. So in this way we can say that AB and CD both are AB and CD, A, B, C, D are collinear, but as no points are common, so they are parallel to each other. They are parallel to each other. But if this case will become like A, B and C, like this. Now in this case we will find AB and then we will find BC. And if suppose AB is 3 centimeter distance, BC is 6 centimeter distance, we can write that BC is equal to 2 times of AB. What we find here, this point B in both cases it is common. If such case is there, then we can say that ABC, point ABC are in straight line, are lying in a line, straight line. Okay, and also collinear. Points A, B and C are collinear and lying in a straight line. Lying in a straight line. Okay. So this also we will be solving questions from exercises. Then coming to area of triangle. Area of triangle. Suppose a triangle is given to us and its coordinates A, x1, y1, B, x2, y2, C, x3, y3, okay. If like this we are given area of triangle and we need to find area of triangle by using coordinate geometry. Area of triangle also how we are finding? We are finding area of triangle is equal to half base into height. So for that we need height of the triangle. Base, any one base we can take, and we need height of the triangle, that perpendicular distance of the vertex from opposite side. If that is given, then we will be able to find half base into height. Also, in solution of triangles or by using Heron's formula and all, we will be able to find area of triangle. Okay. There also, if all the sides are given, like suppose this is A, this is B, this is C. If all the sides are given, then by utilizing Heron's formula, which you have already studied in 10th standard, okay, so there we will be able to find area of triangle by utilizing the value, okay. So S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C. By utilizing this formula, we will be able to find area of triangle. And in this, S is called semi-perimeter. A plus B plus C by 2. Semi-perimeter. Okay. In this way, we will be able to find. But here in coordinate geometry, we are not going to utilize this formula. We are going to utilize not this formula also. Then, because here we are having coordinates, so by using coordinate, we need to find area of the triangle. So, easy formula for everyone. Okay, so what we will be doing? Let us write x1, y1 in this way, then x2, y2, then x3, y3. Again you write x1, y1. Okay, again we will write x1, y1. Now, utilizing that, area of triangle will become like this. So what this x1 y2 minus x2 y1, okay, plus x1 y2 minus x2 y1 plus another one x2 y3 minus x3 y2, x2 y3 minus x3 y2 plus x3 y1 plus x1 y3. Sorry, not here, it will not be plus, it will be minus only, minus, plus will be outside, and this will be giving you area of the triangle. Okay, so in this way we are going to find out. Another one also we can find, so we'll put half as it is, and we'll take x1. If x1 is there, inside it will come as y2 minus y3. Okay, if x1 you are writing, see how the sequence is made: 1 2 3, 2 3 1, 3 1 2, like this sequence we are making, so it is easy to remember. If that sequence we are knowing, will be, it is easy to remember. Even this one also is easy to remember, and this one also is easy to remember. If we are writing x1, y2 minus y3, x1 will be outside, y, so abscissa everywhere we will be putting outside, coordinate we will be putting inside, sorry, ordinate we will be putting inside. So x1, y2 minus y3, you see here x1, y2 plus, and then x1, y3, x1, y3 here minus, it is there. Okay, plus, see, x2, then if 2 is there, then here 3 will come. 2 3 1, 1 2 3, 2 3 1, 3 1 2, like this. Then x3, 3 minus 2. So it is easy to remember or not? 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 2 3 1, 3 1 2. So it is easy to remember. So in this way we can find area of triangle by using coordinate geometry. Any formula you can utilize. Also here we have discussed about collinearity, gentlemen. So if the point is lying in a single straight line, it means what will be the area? Suppose these 3 points are making, it will be given. This A, B, C is forming, it will not be given. It will be given that A, B, C are forming a triangle. Whether they are collinear? So yes, if this area of the triangle, A will be equal to 0, it means all the 3 points of the triangle are lying in a straight line. Then all the 3 points of the triangle are lying in straight line and are collinear. So if you will be given any type of question like this, that prove that these 3 points are collinear, we can find out like this also. Or we can find, simply we will find area of triangle. If it will become 0, we will say that these 3 points are collinear to each other. Collinear. They are lying in a straight line. Okay. So we will stop our discussion at this particular point. Today we have discussed only formulas and concepts. In next class, we will take examples, at least one examples from each what I have discussed today, from section formula, from distance formula, then collinearity, from this area of triangle. We will solve and we will understand in with more clarification, with more you can say good concept. Concept already it is cleared. If we will solve the question, we will become more confident. Okay. So, right. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll meet in next class.